Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Chris with Chris Flores Media. Today, I'm going to show you guys the lenses that I use for absolutely everything that I do. Whether I'm filming a wedding, a corporate project, or even just a passion project, these are the lenses that I'm definitely bringing or at least using all the time, right? So if you're new around here, again, my name is Chris. Welcome to the channel. On this channel, I focus around things that make us better videographers, better photographers, filmmakers, how to tell a story. Occasionally, I'll do a gear review as well. So if you're into all that, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel so I can bring you guys more content just like this, all right? On a side note, I know I've been gone for a little bit, but I think it's better for this channel because I've gotten a lot of work done, a lot of experience done over this past month that I've been gone from the last video that I posted. So I got a lot of things to talk about, right? So again, my lenses that I use for absolutely everything, all right? These lenses are not the most expensive lenses. These lenses are not the fastest lenses. They're not the newest lenses, but to me, they are the best lenses that one, I could afford with my budget, and two, give me the look and the quality that I'm definitely after, right? I'm not looking for the perfect, most sharpest lens. I'm looking for some kind of type of character in these lenses. So today I'm focusing on full frame lenses. Maybe in the future I'll do a video on APS-C Sony camera lenses as well, all right? But let's get started with the lens that literally probably just stays on my camera most of the time. I would be using this lens to film this video right now, but I want to show you guys this lens. So I'm using a different lens. I'm using a little, I guess it's a pancake lens. I'm using a Rokinon 35 2.8. Cool little lens. Maybe in the future, if you want to see a review on it, let me know. We'll talk about it, right? But the lens that stays on my camera, like definitely almost all day long at a wedding or just for everything, is definitely this guy. And I know you know what this is, right? You have to know what this is. This is the Sigma 24-70 2.8. I love this lens. It is sharp. It is so versatile. It is heavy. The character, the quality of the footage and the images that you get, it's outstanding, all right? This lens has some focus. It has a manual autofocus switch. It's got a customizable button. It's got a lock so it doesn't like fall out on you if you're kind of carrying it around with you all day. And more than anything, I just like how good the footage looks. Like every time I edit some video and I know I use this lens, like I'll look at the footage and I'm like, dang, that just looks so good. Like it just always looks so good. And everything from 24 to 70, like it just looks good. This is my YouTube lens. Like if I need to film a YouTube video, I usually have this lens on the camera because it is a 2.8, it's 24, and it's sharp as heck, all right? So I absolutely love that lens, all right? So let me talk to you about my next favorite lens that I use, and I've been using it a lot more often, and I'm so happy that I got it because usually this lens is really expensive, but I got it for $175 off some dude on Facebook. Dude, if you're watching, God bless you. Thank you for this amazing deal. I love this lens. The Sony little guy, 55 1.8. The Zeiss lens. Oh, this lens is so nice. It is so freaking nice. Like when I use it at night or like in low light situations, like maybe like a last dance at the end of a night of a wedding, or even for like corporate stuff, when I put this on my A camera and just point it at the person, like it just looks so good. Like, you know, like I'm pretty sure you've heard about this lens. This lens did come out, I think, in like 2013, and so many people have talked so highly about this lens. That's why I was even interested in the first place. But when I shot the guy an offer and he said yes, like I couldn't believe I was getting this lens. Like to me, I was like, well, if it turns out to be a scam and the lens doesn't work, like I'm not gonna be that mad. But when it worked and it's perfect, like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like this lens is just so good. What I love about this lens, the 55 millimeter look, it's nice. Like it's so nice. I'll definitely have to throw some footage on here. And I'm just doing like a vague talk about all these lenses. I will definitely do an in-depth video on each of these lenses. So bear with me. There will be plenty of B-roll to come, but just the way this footage looks on this lens, it's just so good. It's so good. And then at night or in low light situations, like it just looks so good. It just blows out the background. This lens is beautiful. Like if you get a chance to pick it up, don't hesitate. Don't even like think about it. Just freaking do it. It's so nice. I love this lens. All right, let me talk to you about my first love lens that I got. It was like the first lens that I got when I got to Sony full frame. My camera came with a 51.8, the Nifty 50, and I used it. It was all right, but as soon as I could upgrade my lens, like I definitely did, and that is the Sony 85 1.8. This lens has been with me. It has seen so much action, and it has taken some banger pictures. Like I love this lens. It's really, really sharp. It's really, really fast. And you're talking about blowing out the background. You're blowing out the background with this thing. It is so nice. Like, and even on APS-C, like on the A6400, it gives you like a 127-ish kind of look. So you're almost at a 135. So like this lens can be telephoto depending on the camera, or if you're on Sony full frame and you put it into crop mode, like you've got a semi telephoto lens at that point, and it just looks so good. Like I love this lens. I love it because it's fast. I don't use it as much anymore just because the tendency is to kind of stick with the Sigma since it's kind of like my all day lens. But if I can, I'm definitely using this lens. If I'm taking photos, this lens is the lens that I'm bringing with me because it's fast. So I'll get some really nice low light photos and it just blows out the background. If that's your thing, I'm a sucker for bokeh. If that's your thing, like you need to get this lens too. And it's super cheap too compared to the other 85s that are out there, right? I highly recommend it. Customizable button, AF, AMF switch. Like what's not to like about this lens, all right? So next lens that I want to talk about briefly, it is one of the newer lenses that I've gotten, and I'm still not 100% sold, but I do love it for what it does. But I'm not sure it's gonna like permanently live with me. We'll have to see. I'll do an update video for sure. It's the Sony 35 1.8. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you've heard about it, and I definitely can thank Gerald and Dunn for this lens, right? Like I was looking for a walk around lens. I've got the Sony A7C, which is what I'm using to record right now. I've got the Sony A7C, and like I definitely do not want to walk around all day long when I'm out with my family with this thing. So I was looking for like a smaller compact lens, and I was kind of going back and forth between a 24, 35. I really wanted the G Master, but I have G Master money. And then I looked one day on Adorama and this thing was used. So I got it, and I like it because it's wide enough to get some good shots like of what's happening around you. And the most use that I get out of this lens is like at a wedding, I'll put this on my tripod camera and I'll leave it in the back of the room or like at the back of the aisle. So it's not as wide as 24, but for my cases, like I've been really happy with how much it captures the field of view. I've been happy with it. Like I don't think I'm missing out that much by not having a 24, but I think eventually I will end up getting a 24. Once I get a 24, then I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep this. I do like it though, because like for example, just this past Saturday, I shot a quinceanera and I was having one camera. I had one camera with the Sigma like pretty much the whole day. And then once the nighttime started or the lights went off for dancing, I switched to the 55. On this lens was on my camera for photos like the whole time. I liked it because I could get close enough without like necessarily distorting the face that much to get a nice portrait shot. And it's at 1.8, so like it blows out the background pretty good. And if I wanted to step back and get like a big group shot, I only had to take a couple steps back to get a whole group at 35, right? So I like it. And then obviously, if you put it into crop mode, you can always get like a 50 look out of it. So I like it for that convenience factor, but I don't know. Once I get a 24, I'll definitely have to see if this stays in my kit. But for right now, I'm really happy with this lens, all right? I recommend it. It's sharp. It's beautiful. I like it. It has some vignetting, but I mean, to me, it's something that can be fixed in Lightroom and then video. Like, to me, it's fine, all right? It's got a focus button or focus hold button, customizable button, and AF/MF switch, right? All these lenses have switches except for this 55. The little guy has nothing but a focus ring. But yeah, so let me talk to you about my last lens, the biggest lens, the lens that I really super wanted. And to be honest with you, I haven't used it as much as I thought I was going to, but I'm not going to get rid of it. Like, for sure, I'm not going to get rid of it because I like the character, I like the photos, and I definitely like the ability to walk around with this lens, all right? So, it's this big guy. This thing's a behemoth. This thing's a beast. And no, it's not the G Master version 2 or the G Master version 1. It's the 70 to 200 f4. Why did I get this one over the 2.8 or even the Tamron 2.8? Well, for one, the G Masters are like $2,000, so yeah, that was out the window. And then why I went with this one over the Tamron? Well, I think I could thank Dunna for that one. He did a video right around the time when I was trying to figure out if I wanted more reach. Like, I had done 2 or 3 events, 2 or 3 weddings, and I really felt like I needed more reach. And I was like, I need a 70 to 200. I need a 70 to 200. And then I was looking at the Tamron first, the 70 to 180, because it's 2.8. And later on, I found out that it had some kind of macro abilities at 70, so I thought that was pretty cool. But I ended up going with this one because I like the comparison video that Dunna did about it. And for me, what really sold me on this lens was that it's stabilized. It is a stabilized lens. It has OSS. I like this this focus mode right here. I use this lens a lot, not necessarily like out in the field, but this is the lens that's on my live stream camera at church because it lets me put the camera all the way in the back of the room and just zoom in to get the preacher up at the front or get any action that's going on up in the front. And then at weddings, I do like to put it on a tripod to kind of, like either focus on a groom, focus on a bride, or to be able to walk around. That's why I wanted this lens. I wanted to be able to walk around with this lens, stand kind of far away in the back during a ceremony, and get some real nice tight shots, but without looking like all super shaky. So that's why I ultimately decided to get this one. And the whole argument of like f4 or 2.8, like, it's not a big deal. It's not that much like slower than 2.8. And at this point, I'm very happy with the results that I can get on my A7 III, on my A7C using this f4 lens. So I can only imagine when I upgrade to like the A7S III, like I'm going to be perfectly fine with an f4 lens. So for me, I like that I saved money and it's a lens that I know I'm going to keep around. And for you, if you're looking for a telephoto lens, like I highly recommend it. The photos that come out of this thing are really, really nice. It's really, really sharp. The footage is stable. The footage looks great out of this lens and it gives you a lot of reach. And then just the whole build of it itself, like the focus just feels good. It's nice, dampened. You got 3 buttons. They all do the same thing, but depending on how you got the lens set up on your tripod or on your camera, you got access to a button. And then the zoom, it's not like you're spinning for eternity to get to 200. Like, it's just, and it feels good too. Like that quick, you got your zoom range, right? You got AF/MF switch. You got this focus limiter switch that I think is really cool. I like it. Helps me out a lot at church so that like when someone raises their hand kind of in front of the camera doesn't just jump to their hand. It limits the focus distance so it knows to focus at the far end, right? And then you got optical steady shot, which is why ultimately I decided to get this lens. And you got 2 modes. You got your regular mode, mode 1, and you got your mode 2. That's like a panning mode. So helps you with panning, stabilize. And then you got this collar that comes with the lens. The Tamron does not come with a collar. I don't know if they make a collar for it or not. But yeah, like this is what the lens looks like without the collar. And it is a behemoth. It's heavy, but it's not as heavy as like a 2.8 G Master lens. Like even the new one is still heavier, way heavier than this guy, right? So those are the lenses that I use in my kit. These are the lenses that I'm working with right now. Like I told you guys at the beginning, they're not the most expensive lenses. They're not the newest lenses. They're not even the fastest lenses. But for me, they get the job done right. And to this point, I have not had a client come up to me and be like, hey, like the image sucks. Like I haven't had a client say that to me. So that tells me that like I got a good kit right here. So to me, I do consider these 5 lenses to be budget lenses, but like I know they're freaking expensive. Like this guy, 1,500, Sigma like 1,100, the 35 like 800 I think, the 55 like another 800, the 85 is like 600 bucks. But I was fortunate enough to get all these lenses used, so I would definitely. Well, this like my bought brand new on Amazon. Like I splurged a little bit, but I did get it. But all these other lenses that I have, I've gotten them used. I got this 85 at like a camera store that's 3 hours away from me, and like they gave me a sweet deal on it, so I bought it. The 35, I told y'all I got it on Adorama for a discount on used. This guy is the best deal of my life. I got it for 175 bucks off some dude on Facebook that he was selling an A7R2 and a couple more lenses, including this one. And he was just like, I'm just done. I don't use it. Like, I bought it for when I was in college, but now I don't use it. Like, I'm just looking to sell it. And I was like, is something wrong with it at that price? And he was like, no, it's perfect. And I was like, dude, I will drive. I drove, met the guy. The guy was awesome. Again, dude, if you're watching, thank you so much for this great deal, right? And the Sigma to me is probably the best lens that I've gotten so far just because of its versatility. It's not the fastest, but just being able to have this one lens on my camera all day long and get all the shots that I need to get, and then maybe at night at low light switch to a faster prime, like that to me is freaking awesome, right? And then obviously this guy, I just really wanted this lens, if I'm gonna be honest. I just really wanted it, but it's awesome for what it does, and I will definitely be using it a lot more and telling you guys more about it in coming videos. All right, so again, I just want to tell you guys about the lenses that I'm using, and I will definitely do like single video reviews on the lenses. I'll show you a lot more footage than what I've showed you so far, but thanks for watching. Please consider liking this video, tell somebody about this video, tell somebody about this channel, and as always, please consider subscribing. All right, go out, film something, find what makes you happy, just go out and do it. All right, till next one, peace, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, thank y'all.